It's really about the idea. It has nothing to do with the application of the hand. And the art, he says, lies in those instructions. It lies in the thinking about what the art should be. And he gives that as a recipe for other artists to interpret and to execute. Sol LeWitt was a really radical thinker in the way in which he approached his work. And he came out of a tradition of conceptual art that really began in the 20th century in a big way with Marcel Duchamp. One thing about Sol LeWitt is that he very much cared about there not being any pretension about the display of the art. He never wanted it on a pedestal. He never wanted it behind glass. He didn't want anything, any kind of barrier to exist between the people who are engaging with it and the art itself. That's a really important theme that runs throughout his work. This is made out of concrete block, which is a very modest material. You don't typically see that in the tradition of Western art making, that something so humble is used in a fine art context.
So this piece right here is Circle with Towers. It's one of his structures that he created using concrete blocks. And what's interesting is that he actually didn't create this structure himself. He drafted plans for Circle with Towers, and we've hired masons to actually build the work.
It's very intentionally at grade level so that you can walk and approach it easily. I love that you can touch it and that you can sit on it and that it's a real gathering place. There is this element of the cube, which is a theme that he used over and over again throughout his life. It's a very elemental shape, and he uses it in many different ways.
So this is one of the 3 walls that this wall drawing spans. The artist who installed this work had rags full of these primary colors, ink wash, and they would dab on the colors in different layers. So if you look closely at this yellow, there's actually many different layers of color that form to create this yellow color that you see. And some of these colors have as many as 14 layers of color to create the color that you see now. These darker colors, from far away, it sort of looks like a gray or a brown or a black, but when you get up close, you can actually see that there are oranges and purples and yellows and blues. What is neat about this work is that he got these beautiful jewel tones just using the 3 basic colors and black.
A lot of times the analogy of music is made. The composer creating a score and then other musicians interpreting it. And at the end of the day, you remember the musicians, but it's the Bach and the Beethoven that really anchor themselves as the composers who create the work. And I think that's probably the perspective in which he's thinking.